So, hi guys. Why are we here today? I hope somebody knows. We're looking to, try and create a new app, right? So, is there anybody familiar with the naive approach of Android app development? I'm guessing most of you are new here. So, yeah, we'll have around 3 sessions, I guess, and this is the first session. We'll be going through the installation and what is required for them, and we'll just build a small app and try to explain how it works and the code steps and all of that. Okay, so just yeah, so if you go to this link developer.android.com/studio, you'll see a download Android Studio button, which basically automatically the site detects what kind of system you have, and then if you click on it, then it will only install the right kind of version for you. So let me just go through the requirements. So one main thing is that you need at least 8 GB RAM or more so that your Android Studio works properly. So what is Android Studio? Android Studio is actually an IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Okay. So basically, what it does, it helps us, uh, type the code, pretty efficiently. It'll help us with keyword suggestions and things like that. Just like you have code editors, right? So it's a lot more helpful when you have Android Studio. You can also uh, see the design side by side as you code it, and yeah, that those are the advantages. Now, if you have a Windows, you can have 8, 10, or 11. You need for the latest version, you'll be needed Windows 8, 10, or 11. If you have a Mac, then again 8 GB RAM is necessary. Okay, and if you'll also need enough resolution. So this is the minimum resolution. You can set it using your settings on the. I think I'll just show it. You go to settings. We have a display option here. I hope I'm clear. I mean, is the screen clear? Can somebody respond?
Yes, Hamda, you are
Yeah,
clear.
it's clear. Yeah.
Okay, so you see the display resolution here. Mine is 1366 into 7, which is a recommended one. That is the highest possible in my case. So yeah, you just need to check whether that is there. Okay. Yeah, that's about the basic prerequisites. Just make sure you have that. Otherwise, your Android Studio may end up being very slow. And if you don't want to download from the direct given button, you have other download options as well. These are those. Okay. So I think most of us will be 64-bit Windows, right? Yeah. Now coming to the download. I'm just going to click on download. You'll have an agreement to accept. Okay. Now I click on this and I'll get an executable file, which is going to take pretty much time. So I have already downloaded this thing, so I'll just show it from there. Right. So this is the one. I double click on it. We have something coming up like this. Okay, I'll need to close my existing project. All right. So you'll get a pop-up like this. You'll have to click on yes in order to get it installed. So I already have an Android Studio installed. That's why I'm getting the screen. You guys might not get it. So this is the first screen that you'll see. Just go on clicking next until, just make sure if you don't want an Android virtual device, then we can just uncheck it. What is an Android virtual device? It's basically uh, an app like thing. Uh, and if you want to run an app without actually connecting it to your phone, our phone might not have the required settings and things. So in that case, or if your phone doesn't have enough memory, you can always use an emulator. This is an emulator which shows what will be displayed on the screen, and you can actually use it like a phone. Okay. And you need to make sure you have enough space so that it doesn't get slow enough. So I'm unchecking right now because I don't need it. I'm going to do it with a physical device, right? So I go on clicking next, and I am going to create a new folder, Android Studio, and click on install. So this will take a while. So I'll just show you guys the thing after having, yeah. Okay, next, and if I finish, I can, um, you know, get into Android Studio. So let me just open Android Studio for you guys. I have a previous version installed. That's why you see a different color there. But when you guys install, it will be the latest version. So that's the best one. So this will be the screen that you guys see once you have installed and you click on Start Android Studio project. Yeah. So Hannah will carry forward. Over to you, Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah Savamambal, and I'll be continuing with the rest. Sharing my screen. I hope you guys will not have it. I hope you'll be clear with all what Hamda said. And do you have any doubts
Regarding the installation,
am I audible and is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll be starting. This is actually what we'll be see when we open our Android Studio. We need to start with a new project, and we'll be using an empty compose activity template, and we will be clicking on next. Then we can give a name to the app, we can give it like we're going to make a birthday card which will be similar to this. This is actually our aim to. This is what we are going to make today, and so we need to. We are going to name our app like birthday card.
So basically, Jetpack Compose, what it does is uh, it makes it simpler to create the UI. Generally, if we have a Nile app, then it's going to be really difficult because you have a UI separately. We have an XML code for that one, and we have a backend like logic for a different file for the logic part. So combining that, it's pretty cumbersome. So this is an easier way to implement UI.
Okay, we will be using we will not be changing the package name. It is actually automatically generated, and also the location, we can choose the location as we wish. Actually, I'm using this location right now. Then we'll be taking the one with the minimum SDK, so that it will be compatible with almost 98.8 of the devices.
Yeah, so make sure you
including
always,
the previous versions also.
Yeah, make sure you always choose the minimum possible version. So suppose if I have say KitKat Android device, then the app that I try to install won't get installed into your phone because the minimum requirement is not satisfied. So I hope what you understand what I'm trying to say. So any Android version which is compatible, that is any version after or starting from Lollipop will work.
Just a minute. It's showing some warning here. Okay, then I'm going to click on finish so that a new project will be created. It will there are some process that need to be completed. The Gradle build, that is actually the main background files which we require to run the file, and it's actually working. And after that, it may take a few,
maybe a minute or two.
So yeah, I'm continuing with another one which is already after. I'm just closing this file as of now. Just terminating, and I got a file like this. And let's see actually.
Let's just go through the whole
this
Android Studio setup. So we have different kinds of views. If you just see look at the mouse point where we're pointing at with the mouse pointer, you will have either an Android view, which is currently open right now, or we have a project view. What is a project view? Basically, we just like how we see folders in our file explorer, right? So we get it in just like we have birthday card is within the which folder?
GDSC folder.
Yeah. So we have this project view, and we have Android, and packages is again similar. Yeah, we'll let you know about each of these as the time comes. All right. So right now, let's go to the Android. Well, we'll mostly be using Android, I guess. So yeah, our main code comes within. Yeah, it comes within the app folders. If I take the project view, maybe it will be clearer for you. Usually library contains the okay, and we have source codes. So you see this main activity.kt. KT stands for
Actually,
Kotlin.
this is a file which is placed over here, and this is the starting point of our app. whatever written in this page will be shown in our app.
Yeah, so let's just go through the code line by line.
This is actually the package which we already saw when we create package line, which when we saw at the time of creating the project. And these are some import statements. These are some packages. I hope you will be familiar with the C language.
Yeah, so it's similar to hash include, and if you know Java, it's the same as the import that you see there. So basically, a package consists of several files, and if you have an app that contains several screens or different UIs, so you can wrap all of those together and make it into a single package. And if you want to use it from another say app or something, then we can just directly import this package to that one. So these are all built-in packages right now which we've used.
Okay, this is actually the starting point, or we can say that the onCreate function, whatever in this function will be triggered first and will be run. There is actually the onCreate function will be having the a function called setContent, and the setContent will be having all the widgets we need.
Also, onCreate is basically, you can just think of it like the main function in C or Java, all right? So that's where the compiler starts its execution. So let's start creating the
Okay,
project.
first let's see how to see this. There are two ways. The one way is using an Android emulator. That is actually we can create one using the icon here. That is a device manager, and when we click,
you can click on create device.
When we click on this, we'll be having a pop-up like this, and then we can click on the create device. There we can see a lot of available options. Then we'll be taking one.
You can pick any one, and as you click on next, you will be asked to download an AVD manager.
For example, I'm just doing this and just continuing with the next.
Yeah, and so you can pick an Android version for the phone. Just think of it as a downloadable phone. That's all.
We'll click on next.
And we generally use portrait mode, and if you click on finish, it's going to take a while to install. So right now we are going to show it by connecting our physical phone to the laptop.
For that, we need to do some settings in our phone. This is actually an app which will mirror the phone. This is just need to.
So this is basically Hanna's phone screen,
and I need to take the developer. The first thing we need to enable it in a developer mode. So we need to get the build number.
If you click on about phone, you'll usually see a build version inside your phone settings, inside the about phone, or whichever your phone setting would be. And if you click on it around 7 times or so, I guess,
we need to click the build button, build number, about 5 times.
Yeah.
Then actually mine is already in developer mode, so it will not be enabled. Then the next thing, like,
you need to keep touching on it until it shows you are now a developer. And the next step is
we need to connect. We need
USB debugging.
Yeah, we need to. We have to search for the developer options. Then we need to check with the USB debugging.
Okay.
So
this will generally be off initially. You need to click on it. On the first one, that is developer options has an on. You need to click toggle that one, as well as you see under the debugging section, you have a USB debugging. So that's what you need to have on so that you can run your app on your physical phone.
Okay, then try to build this application. For that,
you see there on the top
We just
right,
saw
we
a-
have Samsung SM. That is your phone name will be shown there. Once your phone has correctly connected to your Android Studio.
then we'll be having a green button here, which I have just clicked now. That is actually running our app. Then it will create a debugged version in our mobile, and we will be able to see the app.
Right now.
Yeah, I think it will take a few minutes. It's actually a
first
new
run,
project.
the first run will always take as you keep restarting after the first time, it'll pretty quickly, I think, run.
So actually, we can see the processes here in the ID itself. It's actually happening right now. Just a second. I'll just try doing this. And also we have another option here in the time which it will run. It's actually a default preview option. There's an option which we can see action. This is actually
It's just a preview. You cannot actually use it. It's
just a preview of
It
it's
just
just a
shows
design of
how
sound.
the user will see it, the entire screen. Yeah.
We need to build it completely in order to see that. So actually the first screen we will be seeing, and it's complete, and next
So
we'll be
right
trying-
now we only have a text,
Already existing code.
so that you see. Okay, we'll anyways go through all of this inside our birthday card app. So basically we need this kind of a unit here. Okay, composable. So that's our that's the main functionality of a Jetpack Compose app.
And actually the phone is the application is running in my phone, and this is how it looks at first. And whatever shown in the phone screen is actually what is on the on create or the set content function, and whatever we see here the default preview. And I'll show, like, we'll
Just
be
comment it out and show them.
let's let me change the name here, like.
So that name that you see over there is actually a parameter. You guys might be familiar with parameters in C and Java, right?
The one which showing in the preview, it's hello JDHC myths. At the same time, when I run my application, it's still hello Android.
What is written here?
That's because it's first, right? Whatever you give in default preview is independent of whatever you give inside in the set content. Default preview is just for you guys to test how the screen looks initially, right?
Okay, now we'll be, I hope till now everything is clear. Can somebody respond? Hello, am I audible?
Clear.
Okay, now let's start with the one which I have already said. That is actually this
This is
one.
what we're trying to create.
For that, I have just made some code snippets. We need to create a composable function first.
So basically it's one component, a single component which has some specialities. Like one thing is it should be annotated with @composable. Every composable function must have @composable. So basically, the compiler understands that it needs to be converted into UI, whatever is within that function. So here we have a text. So that text will be converted into UI. Text is actually a widget. It's a built-in thing. So all you need to do is write this one line of code and it will be converted into UI.
Okay, then we need to.
So because of that one reason, we don't have a return statement like we usually do in C or Java, right? So it's directly converted into UI, so you don't need a return statement there.
The first thing we need to do is we need to remove both these greeting calls, function calls. And we need to call this function. We need to add these parameters. Then the error is gone. We'll just giving happy birthday Sam.
You guys notice, just like we have @composable, we also have @preview on top of default preview, right? So that basically means this function is used for default preview, and default preview need not be named exactly like that. You can name it anything you want, but always make sure that your function names are Haskell keys. That means every first letter must be a capital letter. Every first letter of a word must be a capital letter. It's just a convention and an error, but it's good to be followed.
I'm just running just building the new version. Seems like it's taking too much time. Oh yeah, it came and just I hope you have noticed this name. That is what actually what is this function name. Then this is the first part. The first one, first text is what we have added to the app right now. We need to add the next text. To add another widget.
I hope you guys are clear how that text came. We basically created a composable called birthday greetings with text, and
It's actually a composable function.
Yeah, it was called within another composable function. So you can either call it from set content or you can call it from another composable function.
Then the next part is actually to place the next widget. Yeah, I'm going to place it right below the previous one, and here we are seeing some errors. I think we need to add a from here as a parameter with string as its data type, and another and here a font size is also added, and the font size is 24. Then SP is actually a unit of measurement. It's actually scale independent pixel.
Yeah, so basically if you have a user setting, like we can change our font size, right, in our phone. So if I use SP, then my font will depend, it will resize depending on what the user selects in the user setting.
Yeah, it will not be varying according to the font
Screen
size.
Yeah, it's not dependent on the screen size.
It's showing an error here. That is, we have not
Also,
imported
guys,
it.
don't be worried about Kotlin. We have a session tomorrow for it, so
Yeah.
just follow along for now.
And we have imported that, and that statement we can see this here. This actually, when I clicked on that import button, this line actually came automatically. And I think we need to add a font size here also.
So you call these modifiers, right?
It's showing that there are some. Okay, we need to add this from parameter here, otherwise it's showing an error here. And it's like by Emma. And now we can it. It's loading. This loading button is still rotating.
Yeah, and you see an overlap.
Yeah, I'll just get it
UI.
resize. Yeah, we have seen that it's actually overlapped. The by Emma is actually overlapped, and it is placed above the happy birthday Sam. So that's actually we need to what we need to create is actually it should be placed below this by Emma should be placed below this first text widget, and for that we need another some network issues actually. For that we need to um, for that we have actually some widgets called column, uh, row and also box. And column will actually align each components in a component as
Vertically.
vertically
You can
as
imagine a column, right? And if it is a row, it will be serially. That is like on the same line, it will go one after the other consecutively. I hope it's clear.
just yeah, this is actually like each component will be having a child component. It's like a parent, then a child component inside it. In some cases we'll be having more than one child in a single component. In such cases we need these standard layouts like column, row and box. And we can say that in a column widget will be the components will be or the children will be arranged in a way like first component, second component and the next. And we can have as much as components we like. Similarly in a row we'll be having a display like this. It will be aligned vertically. Mm, so
Horizontally, right?
sorry, horizontally. Now we can add a column here. For that we just need to,
So in our case, we have two texts.
we don't have any parameters, so we can remove
So you
that
don't need
brackets.
those brackets.
Just we need to copy this code, and then paste it here. And next we try building it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the difference?
Yeah, this is actually what we wanted.
You can
Then
just show them the difference when row is used instead of column.
yeah, sure. Let's rename it with this
But
code.
I guess it's still going to overlap because of some reason. I'll just
We need to import this.
yeah, but this import may cause a problem.
Yeah, it's actually like this.
So it did work as a row, but we need a padding like thing, right? What is a padding? It's basically a space between uh, a single text widget or any component, right?
Okay, now I'm changing this to column. And we don't need this widget. And actually, let me rerun this. Okay, then let's see the target which we have to make. And these two parts are clear. Then the next thing we need to add is the image. And I have already downloaded this image and from the GitHub link. And
Yeah, it's an open source available image. You can download an image of your choice.
yeah, actually, I have downloaded this. And the next thing is to import this.
So how do you get it into your project?
Yeah, for that we need to go to the tools and we need to select the resource manager. Then a pop-up will be opened, and this is actually we can click when we click it will be closing. Then okay, then what we'll have to do
So this is actually a shortcut. It's the tab you see on the right. You can directly open it from there also.
yeah, then we need to add it by clicking on this plus button and then import drawable. Then okay, this is actually the one which I have downloaded. We need to select it as a density, then with no density. We have selected this no density that that is because there's no need of resizing, and if our image is small, there is
So whatever size the image has, that will be maintained independent of what the
for the screen
screen
sizes.
size is.
Yeah, when we click on next, and we can click on and our app is here, and our image is here, and it is actually in the file. We can see it on the res. That is res is short for resources, and where
Inside drawable,
we have created with no density, so that is no DPI. It's actually here, and the
and
next.
if you haven't created, if you haven't selected any of those options, then it usually comes inside drawable.
Okay, then we need to add the image or link the image to the app. For that, we need to create another composable function. Let me just minimize this so that you can see it more clearly. And the next thing we need to uh, add two lines into this function. This
So
is
whenever you see a red colored text, it means
that
either
there is some
it's
error.
an error or that a required package has not been imported. So in our case, it's just that the packages haven't been imported. We just need to right click on it and select import.
When we create and when we click on import, then the corresponding dependency will be imported. And here this is actually a function called painter resource, which actually draws the image to the app screen, and every element in the android in this Android Studio project will be having an ID, and this is actually the ID of what we have imported, our image.
If
And
you are familiar with the naive XML version, then we usually have an option to name our say image. Okay, so we have to name it before we can actually use it into the code. So this is just an easier version of that one.
then next, the image actually we need to import another line. In case of manual imports, we used to do this. Mm, Just paste the thing here. Okay, it's still showing some error. That is because we need to add one more parameter, that is the content description. We need to set it as null. Either we can set any string which we
So
like
basically, if the image isn't available, then the content description.
will be shown.
Yeah.
Then we need to build it. Before that, we need to call this function in our main. I think we can change this with our new function.
Yeah. Let's just replace it.
This we have changed after the old build. Yeah, actually, lower. It's just a piece of image. We need to load it. That's actually it's not loaded yet. Okay, at that time I'll just show it on my mobile screen. Actually, I forgot it to call it in the set content. Yeah, we got the app, but actually we have made it two text widgets there, but it's not visible right now. And for that, we need to add a box widget. Actually, box widget. It's actually a component which has which is used to add more than one children. This is actually it will be positioned in such a way that one child will be on top of another, and actually we need the first one as the image, and we need to import this. And then what we need next
Box is just a container, so it can contain any number of. Sorry, it will be containing one single widget which can be embedded into any number of components. So you can stack one on top of the other.
Yeah. The next thing we need to call the greeting method with the text birthday greeting with text, and we need to add the message parameters as this message one, and this is from. We need to run this. Yeah, it's actually somewhat what we have expected. Now let me try to run it on my Android device. The Gradle is building. Yeah, just need to. So actually, this is something which we have expected, but it's actually some weird to see. We need to add the image as full sized, and
We need to see it enlarged, right? And covering the entire screen. That's how we usually see an app, right? So we're close to what we're trying to get to, right?
yeah, just we need to do some more things. The next thing is actually we need to do. We can add. Yeah, in the image we have some. We just need to add a modifier. This is actually something which adds some design or some particular design that
user wants.
Select modifier dot. First, we need to fill with max height or width. Then the next thing we need to
So
add.
remember, you saw this in the initial code that was already available when you clicked on a new compose activity, right?
Okay, then we have just made it to fill maximum height and maximum width of the screen. Let me try to build. Yeah, it's actually made like this.
It's
Then,
full screen.
but it's no, but there are some white spaces here. Till it is somewhat similar to the mobile application view, or like what we have. Then the next we need to remove this white spaces. We need to add a crop property, like using the content scale parameter. I forgot to add the comment.
Refresh.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got somewhat we have expected. Then just we need to add some padding and some size to this.
So we can basically center our text.
For that, we need to add the modifiers to our text widgets also. At the similar way. Sorry, again I forgot to add.
Always remember to add commas
As these are
after
parameters.
after each modifier. Yeah.
We can use the same fill max width in order to fully fit it into the width. And the next thing we need to wrap this content. The content is, then we are going to make it to alignment dot start. Start this is actually just we can say
Just a hack for you guys. If you code a snippet and you haven't clicked on enter in a long while, or if your code looks messy, then you can click on press Control Alt L, and your code will be reformatted automatically, so it will look a lot cleaner.
okay, just I'll do it. Control Alt L. It's actually got some spaces and some ender had been done.
Yeah, it will look a lot more compact.
And this is actually the aligned properties. The start, if the text widget, if the start is chosen, it will be the widget will be like this. And if end is chosen, alignment.end is chosen, it will be like this. And aligned to the end of the screen. And for the top and bottom, it will be like top. It will be aligned to the top, and for the bottom it will be aligned to the bottom. The text will be the widget, not the text, any widget that will be aligned to the bottom. Okay, that is what actually we have made here. And we need to add almost the same modifier to the second one.
So that both come in around the same location, right?
That's actually in, but what we actually want is to add this text to the end. For that, we need to add the end. We need to change the
So you
start
have to
and
right
add the
align
end.
it, right?
Yeah, it's actually done. And then almost the app is complete. And this is actually what we plan to make today. And I hope you got a basic idea of
Are
what.
there any jargons you didn't understand, or yeah, I guess it's almost time, right? If you guys have any queries or anything, you can always ping in our Discord channel, or you can also put it in the chat.
I hope everybody got a basic idea of what I have done today. And don't worry about the language and the all those methods, everything. We'll be having another session tomorrow with the basics of Kotlin.
Yeah, so you will be clearer with the Kotlin part of our code as well. So right now you're only familiar with composable functions a little bit, and as you learn more about the language, I guess it will get a lot more better.
Yeah, I think we could conclude today's session.
Yeah. Any winding remarks, Fatima?
Uh, First of all, thank you, Hamda and Hannah, for the session. And as mentioned by both of you, tomorrow we'll have a session on Kotlin fundamentals that will be taken by an external speaker. The upcoming sessions of this Compose camp will be conducted on a Google Meet. So we'll keep you guys posted about all our WhatsApp group. So everyone, just please make sure you join our WhatsApp groups. So thank you all once again. So by this, we come to an end of today's session. Expecting all of you to join for tomorrow's session as well. So you may all leave now.